Fine. Yeah. We are discussing about the benefits of JSA. This will be
Sorry
used.
for interruption.
Sorry. Yeah.
JH, sir.
Sorry.
JHA or JSA. Both are same or
Both are same. This JHA is the initially used for HAZOP. JHA starts with the HAZOP actually. Prior to the HAZOP technique, the JHA is there. JSA is the job safety analysis, and JHA is the job hazard analysis. Both are same only. Ultimately, the aim is same. But the JH is the preliminary concept of hazard and operability study. Now the JHA has been
that
evaluated
technique
into
we don't know,
hazard.
sir.
Yeah.
What you were explaining. Maybe
Sorry.
we may understand in next classes.
Yes. Yeah. Both are same only. The ultimate the concept is same, but the JHA is being evaluated to evolve to hazard and operability study, which is used for the chemical plants and petrochemical plants, whatever the design related issues. This JSA will be for the activities that also used for the identification of hazards. It will be used for the short terms. For example, here you are not going to do any detailed analysis. Here you will identify a hazard. To suppress that hazard, whatever the safety precautions to be followed at the instantly. So it is an instant respido you can give it to the hazard. But in JHA, you will identify the system related hazards also. For example, the mission, how it will be works, the process in case of any deviation, how it can be taken care. If it is a month, in case of any deviation happens in between the process or any man related errors, how it can be taken care. It will take the overall. Here also we will take, but here we will take the instant safety precautions to proceed the activity.
Got it, sir. Detailedly understood. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Right. And then what JSC will helps us is, so we will split into the couple of smaller activities, and each activity we will identify hazard, and each hazard we will take up a safety precaution to take up the activities which we have assigned. And it helps in planning of effective safety inspection, also accident investigation. It can be also used, whatever the JSAs which we have done, it can be used for accident investigation also. How it can be used? We will identify whether they have done proper JSA or not, whether they have skipped any specific activity or any specific step to identify the hazard. Then it suggests the improved job methods, motions, and also positions, actions, and also work standards. And proper organization of methods consists with an accepted safe and also efficient practices. It also makes the methods and also the process or the accepted practices. So what will happen? Based on identifying hazards, you will identify or you will come across with the what kind of safety practice I can adopt to complete this activity. Then pre-planning and preparedness, and also a proper performance can be started by the executing properly and also requirements of the operations. So with this, we can have a proper planning. Okay, so on so hazards are there, so that these kind of precautions I should be able to taken care, or I should be able to ready. Then procedure. How you will do a JSA? It is in a simple four-step activity. First, we will select the job. Select the job in the sense what activity you are doing or what work you are going to perform. Then we will break down into successive steps, which means we will make it into multiple number of steps. How it can be done? For example, we are going to build a brick wall. So that is an activity. So for the making a brick wall, we will convert it into subsequent steps. For example, I have to brought all the raw material to the site, transportation of material or handling of material, mixing of sand and also cement and water, and then taking the bricks into to make a wall and construction of the wall or people movement. Like this, we will divide into smaller steps, and each step we will identify a hazard. So while shifting of bricks or shifting of cement or mixing of this a mixture of this cement and also a sand, and while building a wall, what kind of hazards will be there? then develop a safety measure to eliminate the hazard and also consequential accidents. So then we will take a safety measure to avoid that accidents or to avoid that hazard, to minimize the hazard. That is the simple step. Then product safety. This is also one of the concepts. It will be about the product which we are making, whether it is safe or not to use. It is a legal responsibility of every manufacturer, or seller, or agent, or supplier of each product to render it safe or which is non-injurious. Otherwise, any harm is caused to the consumer or buyer or user by that product, and also a legal damage or payable over the above statutory compensation. That's why they used to mention the do's and don'ts with any product. If you buy any product or any equipment or any instrument, so they will give some operational controls, what to be done and what not to be done, so that it is not going to be harm to the consumer or the user or the buyer. If you see section 7B of the factories, it is imposes a duty on every designer or manufacturer, importer or supplier of any article and also substances in use a factory to make that product safe and without risk to the health and also workers, to carry out necessary tests for this purpose, and to supply a safety information regarding the safe use of the product, and the product should conform to the Indian and also foreign higher standards. So that's why if you see any product, there will be a standard, Indian standard. Whatever the products which we are manufacturing in India, definitely it will have it should follow the Indian standards, IS standards. And also they will do a necessary test, how it can be proved that it is not going to create a harm or a risk to the operators. And also they will give a manual, operating manual. If it's an equipment or any gadget, definitely even the mobile or pen drive, whatever you are getting, or anything, any electronic, any goods, definitely we will get a operating manual. So with that operating manual, we can understand what kind of precautions to be followed. And negligence of breach or warranty should be approved to establish a product liability. So they will given a warranty also. Okay, for this many hours, warranty is there. If you see now automobiles or all the cars, they are giving 1 lakh kilometers warranty. So in case of any issue with the 1 lakh kilometer, within that, they will do a free service or they'll give a replacement, whatever the offers which they are giving. One second, guys. Yeah. See what are other the manufacturer will be obligated exercise care in the planning, designing, and also producing these products and responsible to the safe and all the users, and provide adequate warning and also precautions with the product for the safe use. If you see in our mobiles or any gadgets or any products, they'll give some warning labels. So keep it away from people, or keep it away from children, or keep it away from hot surfaces, etc., etc. And the product, the safety program should be include a clear policy, duties, and responsibilities for the personnel in design, manufacturing, quality control, marketing, and also service. The committee should include a chief engineer, sales manager, service managers, and the respective representative for the all the departments. And the committee shall carry out various functions such as review of design, change required, and also safety warning signs or safety signs, and review of accidents, claims, and also education of engineers and operators. So they'll have a dedicated team for this product safety program. They will analyze from the policy. They will have a specific policy that so whatever the product which you are making, it should be safe to use for all the users and the buyers. And they will do a couple of checks in their quality control, and it will be involved with the marketing and servicing as well. So they will do a thorough check before delivering the product to the market, and they'll do proper trainings as well. And one more control is a safety work permit, which we have discussed in last 2 days. The objective is to, I'll not take it more in this, so because already we have a detailed session. The safety work permit will be, it is ensuring that whatever the activities which they are performing, it has to be rendered, it has to be completed in a safer manner. This you can refer later. As we already have seen, different types of permit: general, height, hot, and excavation, electrical work on vessel entry or confined space. And this also we have seen who is meant by issuer, who is meant by authority, etc., etc. And elements of work permits also we have seen. What are the elements? There will be a location, there will be a plant, there is an equipment or a plant operator, there will be an issuer, there will be an acceptor, and what kind of equipment is happening, whether it is needed in isolation. Then it is in a vessel entry, the entrant will be there, and the entrant will be there, and also firefighter or vessel entry person will be there, who is allowing the people into the inside, and he will maintain the log entrant. Then he has to manage the log sheet, how many people have been entered, how many people have came outside. Then safety attack system. This is also one of the control mechanism to avoid the accidents. If we see a tag, immediately we will remember a scaffolding. So if you see the scaffolding, I'm taking as example, they'll use the three colors of tags, which is green, yellow, and red. The green will be which is clear, you can go, and yellow will be it is under construction. You have to go with some safety precaution, or we go with the safety belt. And red will be it is under construction. We should not get into that scaffold. If you see this Indian standard 8095 provides the specification for the accident prevention tags, which is nothing but signboards, and the tags are used as a temporary means of warning to the employee for existing hazard. So we will put a signboard or a tag stating that the slippery surface or machine is under maintenance, or you should not operate, or you should not start, like that, etc., to warn them to not to start any switch or any operation, because some other person may be injured due to that. So if we operate that activity or we operate that mission, somebody else may met with an accident. So we have to put those tags. For example, while working in any mobile rotational movement, the tag on isolated switch is necessary to prevent a warning operation, which is nothing but logo, lockout, and tag out. In the tag out, we say that do not operate. So that is also one of the example for the tag. The tag shall be removed as soon as the die hazard is removed or eliminated. Once you have completed the activity, or you are permanently removed that specific hazard, so then you can remove it. Do not start tag on power machine should be provided till the operation or repairing is over, and then it should be removed. So if it is a do not start tag, you are keeping it means until unless the repair work is completed, it should be remain there, then you can remove. And defective equipment tag shall be planned to till the die defects or exits only, and accident prevention signs are a permanent nature while the tag are temporary. So this prevent signs, signage board is in a different, and these tags are for a temporary nature, but signages are which are permanent. And also in case of any defective machine, this machine is under progress or this machine is defective, we should not use this machine, especially for any portable tools. So there we can use these tags. This tool is defective, we should not use. And the tag should be in a language understood by the workers. It is also very important that whatever the tags are there, the tag should be, we should be able to understand by the majority of the people. And type of tags: do not start tags, danger tags, radiation tags, biological hazard tags, etc. And also the colors for the some tags are prescribed, but not the size which should be suitable. So the size and the location, it should be identified properly. It should be able to readable, or it should be in a position they can see properly. Another control is a standard or safe operating procedures or SOPs. Safe operating procedures or standard operating procedures, vice versa, they will be called as. A hazardous works or frequently required jobs need a standard or safe operating procedure, and they are well defined, also described beforehand, and also available in the form of a ready-made document. And they are most useful to plant people for easy use, and such procedures are also useful in avoiding reducing accidents. So standard operating procedures or safe operating procedures, which will be given. The standard operating procedure will be for the production. A safe operating procedure which will be used to operate an equipment or any instrument to avoid any accidents. So here they'll have a ready-made document stating that okay, these are the steps to be followed to avoid the accidents, or to take out the or to avoid the shortcuts. The meaning and usefulness. Now we'll understand exactly what this standard operating procedure. It is a set of written instructions. It is nothing but they will tell you what to be followed in a systematic way. For example, there are 0 to 20 instructions are there to complete an activity. They will give a one by one instruction what to be followed with the previous activity. And also working methods and standard engineering practices for hazardous jobs, and also frequently or required industrial activity. And it describes a technical as well as administrative operating instructions from management, and it is designed by a duly qualified and also well experienced technical person in the plant, and it should be amended and also updated based on the experience of its use. And also SOP standards work procedures avoids variations among different workers, and it establishes uniformity and also safety in the work methods. What will happen? We are using this SOPs, so there will not be any deviation. So we will make sure that there will not be any operational errors. It ensures that the same work is done in the same way by all the workers safely and efficiently. So if you are strictly following SOP, if any person does the activity, there will not be any changes in the activity. So it will ensure the safety of the operations. And there are some problems with the SOPs also if you are not written properly. That's why the SOP should be written correctly, and the steps should be chronological order. So it has to be follow proper sequence. If not written correctly, it is in a limited value. And the best written SOPs may fail if not followed. And copies of SOP should be readily available in the work area so that they can be readily used. And the SOPs are useful to prevent the shortcuts, wrong habits, unsafe practices. So we can avoid the unsafe actions and practices with the SOPs. If you see the format of an SOP, it is written a well designated format. It should be easy to understand. It should clarify its purpose, method of use, tools, equipment, and also PPs which is required, and also work permit to be used if any, etc. And steps and also substeps should be well arranged. And SOP should have a title, serial number, ID number, and also date of preparation, date of number of revision. This will be the document control. So it will have a title, it will have date of preparation, it will have a revision when it has been revision, and also steps and procedure, action by whom, and also remarks. So what, who should be followed, and who for whom or for each activity it will be applicable. This is some of the examples. Nitrogen purging in a reactor. So there also we should have one SOP. These are some of the titles of an SOPs. Loading and unloading of a tanker of hazardous substance. Safe starting or closing down of a plant. The catalyst loading into a reactor, and flue or a toxic gas sampling procedure. These are the some of the formats or the titles for the SOPs. And also, a key point, SOP should be approved from the top management, including safety department. It should be reviewed and also revised, and the checklist can be used to prepare an SOP. So whatever the SOPs are which are there, it has to be approved by the top management, or which is assigned a role by the top management. Then incident recall technique. This is also one of the technique we can use. for the appraisals. And this method is based on the collecting information on hazards, near misses, unsafe conditions, and unsafe actions from a working people. The title itself it is given a detailed incident recall. You are trying to recall the incident after some time. From whom? From the people who are involved in that or who is become an eyewitness of that incident. It can be used to investigate a man-mission relationship and to improve the equipment and operations. And the technique consists of interviewing personnel regarding involvement of in accidents, near misses, errors, mistakes, difficulties, and also the conditions which may cause accident. What under will involve? It will involve the people who is involved in the accident or who is met with a near miss or who is involved in the errors and who has done the mistakes. They will be involved to identify or to recall that specific event. It accomplishes the same result as an incident investigation. Even isolated incidents reported by the technique can be investigated to determine whether the corrective action is necessary or advantageous. The result will be as like as a accident investigation only. Even isolated incidents reported by the technique can be investigated. Isolated, for example, some of the incidents are they have not reported. After 10 days, everybody will forgot. If you ask any particular one guy, he will reveal that. Sir, उस दिन तो हुआ था, but वो छुपा दिया है, कोई बोला नहीं है. It will be happens with the supervisors or shift managers, especially in the night shifts. If any incident happens, they will immediately start the cover upping of that incident. A plant people should be given accident case studies for reading and all thinking, and their memory should be recalled to know their understanding and also further suggestions. And it can be used for the practices or it can be used for the training purposes also. We can give some of our last or previous accident cases. They can go through and they can recall what is happened in that scenario. And next is critical incident review technique. This is also one of the technique for the safety appraisal for the improving of safety. The critical incident technique by W. Tarrant, it is a method of identifying or reviewing of potential accident causes by collecting information on unsafe conditions and actions, and near misses and hazards from an experienced plant personnel. So this will be taking from an experienced plant personnel. In the incident recall technique, it has been taken from the people who have been involved in that accident. But this critical incident technique, we are going with the experienced plant personnel. It can be used to study the man-mission operations relationship. So, as an experienced guy, he can able to tell what went wrong, or what could be the wrong, or what could be the chances or the probability to went wrong, and also the information to improve the equipment, operations, and procedures. An experienced reviewer or supervisor first explains to a key personnel what he wants to know, and then he asks the worker or individually questions on safety matters. What he will do is first he will check the experienced personnel, then he will go to the worker. He will ask the questions workers involved in this incident and near misses, mistakes, errors, and difficulties. It has been estimated that for every mishap, which means a mistake, there are at least a 400 near misses, and the information on the possible accident causes can be obtained from participants of accidents and non-participants, but having knowledge. So here they will question the people who are involved, and also they will ask non-participants who is having knowledge on that specific activity. Knowledge అయితే ఎవరికైతే ఉందో వాళ్ళని కూడా అక్కడ క్వశ్చన్ చేయడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది. Then procedure analysis. This is also one of the technique for safety operation, and this method reviews the possibilities of accident due to actions of the work people. First of all, the checks the whether the work method is hazardous or not. ఇందులో ఏంటంటే they will check only the work people, and also the checks which are there whether it is suitable or not, and it ensures that the non-mission a motion does not in danger, and also the operator is following the method suggested by the designer or supplier. You will ensure the man-machine motion does not in danger. So man and machine, whatever the movement which is happening, it is not in danger. Also, the operator is following the suggestion of the designer and also the supplier. And a procedure is a set of instructions for a sequenced actions to conduct an operation, maintenance, a repair, assembly, a test, and calibration, transportation, handling, and also emplacement, and also removal. So what and all it will take care? It will be taking care of all the operations, maintenance, repairs, all the activities. And this procedure analysis is a review of the actions that must be performed for intended task, which means any specific task, if you want to do this, you can use this method. And the equipment must be operated or used, and also the environment in which personnel must work. The analysis ensures that the procedures are not only effective but also safe. It is analysis, it is not only make the procedure, it will also look for safety of the people as well, whoever is involved in that. And also the procedure has to contain precautionary instructions, operating instructions, and warning precautions, checks and tests, and also step-by-step instruction to perform operation, and stopping instructions and emergency instructions. In this, they will cover all the things, how to operate, what are the warnings and also precautions, what are the checkpoints to be done before operating any equipment, and also in case of any emergency, how you are going to be controlled. All the things will be kept in this instructions. Then plant safety inspections, which is in a general checkpoint. The plant safety inspection is an old and effective method which is appraising plant safety, and its techniques are explained. If you see in Indian Standard 3811/1964, inspection is a process of ensuring by the assessment of facility reaches the necessary standards and also quality or performance of the level which is maintained. So here we'll make sure that based on the inspections we can understand whatever the requirements are there, whether it is meeting it or not. And as defined by the same standards, the maintenance is the work undertaken to order to keep or restore every facility and every part of the site, building, and also the contents to an acceptable standard. So maintenance is one of the activity. It makes keep it the safe and also ensures everything is under functional. This maintenance implies some of the measures of the inspection as a part of this function, and what maintenance is needed, and whether the results are acceptable. So definitely you are doing some repair means why we are doing, and what kind of repair which is required, whether it is safe or not. Then safety inspection. It is defined as that the monitoring function conducted in organization to locate and report the existing and also potential hazards which have the capacity to cause an accidents in a workplace. Here we are going to do a monitoring whether the functions or the potential hazards which is having any capability to cause accidents. Then we will take proper measures based on the capability of the hazard. Then safety and health inspections ensure that the working conditions, environment, actions, methods conform to the legal and also safety requirements. For example, you are inspecting any lifting chain or lifting tools and tackles or EVT cranes or forklifts, whether it is meeting the requirement, which means whether it has been calibrated by the third party, whether it has been calibrated by the competent person, whether it has been calibrated as per the user range. Maybe the capacity is 50 ton, the user is using only for 1 2 ton. So whether it is properly calibration done or not.